Welcome back, everybody. No face cam today. We're going to do another still life painting, this time of a colored bottle. Now, this bottle doesn't have anything in it, but I thought it'd be interesting to paint a colored bottle nonetheless. Now, you can see with the sketch, I'm just laying in areas of proportion right now, kind of indicating where I want the bottle to be and trying to measure where I want to put it. This painting is more or less in the center. There's nothing wrong with painting something in the center, especially when you're doing just a single item like this. Kind of gives a sense of tranquility and kind of a soothing painting, more or less. Here I am measuring. Now I'm trying to decide where I want the neck of the bottle, top of the bottle. There I decided to move the top of the bottle down. So it's probably a little more short than the actual bottle itself, but that's okay. Now the top mark that you see at the very top of the board, that's to indicate where the frame would end up. So I want to make sure I had enough space between where the frame would be and the top of the bottle itself in the painting. And I'm just tweaking the drawing here, giving myself some detailed notes, more or less, not to forget when I paint, because all this in the end is going to be covered up. So I start off with a blue background, but it's a muted blue, kind of in the number 5 range. And then I throw in some nuances of the bottle so I can get a sense of the value of the background compared to what I want the value of the bottle to be. And then I fill in the rest of the background, and I make a little bit darker on the right bottom side. And then I warm it up on the left side here, right there. Just to give a little bit of variety and interest in the background. And moving on into the orange of the base. More or less I did this because blue and orange make complementary colors, so why not give it a try? And it's a good combination no matter what you do. You can see orange in clouds, you can see orange in hayfields, etc. It's a really good combination with a big blue sky. And then the front of the still life board that I have right there, made it really dark just to keep you set into the painting. Moving into the bottle, going with a high chroma mid-tone. I just wanted something really blue to come out. And then I'll put in the dark cap itself. If you ever drink Bombay Gin, the cap has a very distinct shape, along with the bottle itself. And then I move into the darks of the bottle that I can see in the still life. And really, glass is nothing more than just painting shapes in the right value. The more you paint glass, the easier everything else will be. And getting a little bit of nuance within the bottle there of where the reflected light hits, kind of defining that front surface plane, adding some darks in where the occlusions happen within the glass. Now things would be totally different if this bottle was full, right? Different occlusions would happen. It would bend light a lot differently as well. I'm doing a slight value shift, keeping the chroma still high, kind of making the distinct shapes that you see within the bottle. This bottle is a little bit easier than most because it is square and somewhat flat, but no matter how perfect you think a glass bottle is, it never is, and there's always some sort of reflection going on. Refining the darks here in the base and in the sides and throughout the bottle, really. Adding a little bit of green into the mixture, kind of greeny orange. Moving in, putting in some knife work there, getting some nice straight edges and a lighter value. Knife work is so important in the painting as far as I'm concerned, because you cannot get those straight fine lines with a brush alone while still keeping yourself painterly. And adding a little bit of refraction into the base, adding some green tones into that. The green tones go well with the orange goes well with the blue. So there's a kind of harmony going on here, right? Getting the lighter values within the bottle so you can start seeing a little bit of refraction going on. Anytime the glass bends, it's going to reflect a little bit of light here and there. Getting some highlights on, trying to get the sense of glass separation there. Throwing in a little bit of orange tone into the blue. And more or less just trying to paint the shapes that I see. I go back and forth. A little bit into the top bottle, or into the top of the cap, back into some darks, refining shapes as I go, getting smaller and smaller each time, right? Painting is starting with the large shapes and moving into the smaller shapes. And I move from large lights, large darks, into medium shaped darks, medium shaped lights, small shaped lights, small shaped darks, and it's just a path you keep on going down until all of a sudden there's nothing more you can do. And here I'm just playing with the refractions that I see within the glass, and now bringing down some little more light into that orange, bringing that orange into the bottle. It may not necessarily be that strong within the bottle, but I try to emphasize that as I bring some of the background into the object and some of the object into the background idea. Use a nice violet shadow instead of a blue or a dirty orange shadow. The violet gives a little more life. Working in the cap, trying to define that shape a little bit more, where the cap separates from the bottle. Putting in the highlights just to bring that glass to life, bringing the cap to life. I do adjust these highlights on the cap. They're a little bit too bright for that dark value. You'll see me adjust those a little bit later on. Maybe trying to adjust that cap, keeping it soft still. You don't want anything too hard. You only want the hardest areas to be your highlight of your painting, in my opinion. I keep on going and adjusting that bottle, trying to get that refraction of the glass. Adding some cools down into that dark to get a little bit of variety of that warm dark in the base. Adding a little more darks for some occlusions in the bottle. A little more sense of depth. Adjusting the lights. Adjusting the cap. Adding a little more blue within that dark black. A little bit of pink within that orange. Pink within that dark. So I find pink really goes well with the blue. And of course, since we have green in there, the green goes well with the pink. And so it's just a continuous harmony throughout. I keep on just playing with that edge, trying to get a little bit brighter and building up to a sort of a greeny highlight on that bottle. And adjusting the lights in the base again, trying to bring a little more life to the ground plane. Putting some violets within the blues. The blues go with the orange. The orange goes good with the reds and the pinks, and the violet goes good with the yellows and the orange, and it just keeps on going. And from there I sign it and do a few more adjustments here and there. It's funny, I think I'm done, so I sign it. I gotta adjust it. So here I am adjusting that highlight. I didn't want that to be sort of the highlight of the painting. Where the reflection is kind of where your focus of this painting is for me. And there it is. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. If you've enjoyed this video, hit that like button. If you can share this video, all the better, and don't forget to subscribe.